Okay, folks, what we're going to do here is talk about sessions. Now, when you guys first open up Capture One, there's going to be a point where it's going to ask you to choose sessions or catalogs. You want sessions. A session is a fantastic way to organize all your shoots into individual sessions so that you can switch between them. It makes the program run ultimately super efficiently and fast. And it's a great way to organize your things. So I'm in a current untitled session. What I'm going to do is, can I switch to a new session? Yes, I can. Look at that. Well, actually, we'll just start with sessions. So if you guys hit catalog, it's not a big deal. What we're going to do is get into the habit of making new sessions. So what we'll do is we will create that session, ultimately by going up to File, New Session. Even if you're in a catalog, don't worry, File, New Session. So this is going to kind of piggyback on your your studio classes where you guys download images, but everything goes into new session. Every shoot, new session. If you did a shoot of your dog playing in the park in the morning, that's its own session. If you did a shoot of your cat, I guess, playing in the afternoon, that's another session. Okay, so let's do this. So what we're going to do is we're going to give the session a name. Now, what you should get in the habit of doing here is looking at the delivery requirements of your client. So if you have a shoot for school or something, look at the submission requirements for your studio course and see what it is. So typically it's Pearson T, last name, first initial, and an assignment name. So last name, Pearson T. What is a good example? DSLR checklist. Now I don't think you guys are handing that in or anything, but that's just an example. If you guys don't have anything, just give it your name anyway. Pearson T. What will we do here? Pearson T. I don't know. Let's go C1 ingest. Hey, look at that. Now, what that's going to do is going to give the session the name of this, but we want to store the session folder somewhere that makes sense by date. So next, below this is location. So we're going to click on these three dots. Anytime you see three dots like that, it means further options. So it's in the same line here, location, three dots. There we go. And I store everything in my Algonquin Stills folder, and I store everything by date, more or less. There's a few things I don't. But here are just some shoots that I keep on my computer currently because I'm using them right now. So we're going to create a new folder. We're going to give it today's date. Now, today's date for me is the 14th of September, so we're going to go year, month, 18, it's 2018, it's September 09, 14, that's the date. And we're going to give this a name that makes sense. So if it was C1 ingest, I'm going to go C1 ingest. If it's a shoot in a particular city, you can put the city, you get the idea. You can basically put that there. This should make sense to you. We're going to create, and then we're going to make sure that is selected, and we're going to click choose. That will go inside of that folder. Below this, we have template. You can leave that alone. If you work for a different company that uses different templates, they'll tell you about it. You can choose it there. Create subfolder, capture, selects, auto trash. This will automatically create subfolders for you. And then we have capture name. So when you guys are importing into your computers, you guys can have capture name. We want to have open in a new window deselected because we don't want this to open a new window. I'm going to click OK. There you go. You can see up here it's switched to the session. And in my library tool tab under library tool, we can click on this and switch between my sessions. So I can go back and forth. It'll load different sessions. And that's the key, switching between different sessions so that only the images in this shoot you're working in are loaded into the computer resources. So it just keeps things nice and quick. Now, just to show you guys, when you create that session, so let's go to my Algonquin Stills folder. There's the folder I created. So in that folder with the date, so everything's nice and organized by date, I'll have my session folder, and then in that folder I'll have capture, output, selects, trash, like it said in the actual new session dialog box, and then I'll have my session file. So another way you can open up sessions, so if capture one's closed, I'm just going to quit it here. So capture one is now closed. You can open up capture one by clicking on the session file, which is quite useful. Okay, so to give you a bit more about this, when you guys shoot something, I'll shoot something else actually. Let's go to Stony Swamp. So when you guys shoot something, your RAWs will be in the capture folder when you import and tether. When you guys select something, which we'll talk about in a little bit, those files go into your selects folder. And when you guys output, that is, process your RAWs into JPEG or TIFF, they'll be in the TIFF. They'll be in this folder. And this is where we're going to store all of our working files when we go to Photoshop. If I want to open the session, all I have to do is double click on this particular session here, double click on the file, and it will open. If it is an older session from an older version of Capture One, it will simply ask you to convert or upgrade. So I'm just going to go ahead and upgrade. That was created with Capture 110. Now it'll be Capture 111. There's my files from the capture folder. There's my selects. There's my output. And do I have anything in my trash? No. There you go. And again, when you start loading up sessions, they show up here. If they're not here, go to your Algonquin stills folder, find your session file, and open it up. There you go, guys. That is sessions. That's how we switch between sessions, create a new session, and ultimately look at sessions in our finders.